Welcome, my dear students, to chapter number 2, efficiency criteria. So, the first section, positive economics versus the normative economics. Okay, positive approach or the positive economics concerned with the question what is. So, in this case, the positive economics talk about facts, hypotheses, and no points of view and no debate. For example, when we talk about the impact of widening the desert route of Cairo, Suez, or Cairo, Alexandria, on the well-being of travelers. So another example or statement when we explain the relationship between quantity demanded of meat and the price of meat, negative relationship, all the other factors constant. So this is positive approach, no points of view. On the other hand, normative economics concerned with what should be done. So it based on judgments, points of view, debate. So when I ask you what should be done to achieve the objective of decreasing air pollution, maybe my point of view, the government should perform the following steps: one, two, three, four. Another point of view, another statement in case of normative economics, when I ask you, should the government decrease the import tariffs or the customs on imported products like vehicle? Maybe you accept because one, two, three, four. Maybe you reject because one, two, three. In this case, we talk about normative economics and debate. Efficiency is a normative criterion. So this is normative economics because in this case talk about the best use of resources to increase the welfare for or of individuals. Pareto optimality or Pareto conditions, it means Pareto, this is when we talk about Pareto optimality, Pareto an economist, okay? The Pareto optimality equal, you cannot increase the welfare or the well-being for all individuals in the economy without negative impact on the other. Okay, if you want to increase the welfare for producer, the welfare for consumer should decrease. This is Pareto optimality. Two aspects of the efficiency. Number one, avoiding the waste in production process. Avoiding the waste, this is, in this case, you apply the efficiency, so you target the optimal output with minimum efforts or with minimum economic resources. Number two, freedom to engage in mutual advantage exchange. In this case, suppose two persons, person A and person B. Person A want to give up the product owned and want the other products at the same time for the person B. Marginal conditions for efficiency. In this section, we will present some new terminologies like number one, total social benefit, TSB, and marginal social benefit, MSB. Okay? The word benefit, we mention satisfaction. The word benefit, we mentioned satisfaction. So TSP, or the total social benefit of a good, is the total amount of satisfaction to consume specific goods or services at certain period of time. While when we use the word marginal social benefit, MSP, marginal social benefit equal change over change in total social benefit divided change in Q. Okay, change in total social benefit divided change in Q. So this is the extra benefit. The extra benefit. Marginal social benefit, this is the maximum price or the maximum amount of money paid by consumers. So when we assume that marginal social benefit equal to Egyptian pounds, 2 LE, 2 Egyptian pounds. So in this case, what does it mean marginal social benefit equal to? The maximum price for this glass of milk equal to Egyptian pounds. So when the consumer pay less than 2, when the consumer pay less than 2 to obtain the same glass of milk, the welfare increase for consumer. Okay, so this is the rule. Marginal social benefit equal change in total social benefit divided change in Q. The next, total social costs and marginal social cost, TSC and MSC. In this case, we talk about the cost of resources or the value of resources required to produce goods and services. So the marginal social costs MSC equal change over change. Change over change. Change in total social costs divided change in Q. Okay? Suppose the marginal social cost equal to marginal social cost per glass of milk equal to. What does it mean? It means the minimum accepted value or the minimum accepted resources for the owners of resources equal to the owners of resources, okay, supply resources with minimum price 2 or with minimum value 2. When the price greater than 2, good news for producer to offer more or to supply more, but bad news for consumer. So this is Pareto optimality. This is the rule. Marginal social costs equal change over change. The same marginal social cost, the slope of total social cost, and marginal social benefit, the slope of total social benefit. The net benefit when total social benefit minus total social costs, the net marginal with marginal social benefit minus marginal social cost. This is the net marginal. What about the equilibrium? The equilibrium, two conditions to estimate the efficient output. Condition number one, marginal social benefit equal marginal social cost. Number two, total social benefit greater than total social costs. Two conditions to estimate the efficient output. Suppose this figure, okay, marginal social benefit the same with demand curve, marginal social cost the same with supply curve, okay. So at point E, intersection between marginal social costs and marginal social benefit. So this is equilibrium and the marginal social cost equal marginal social benefit. This is the first condition done. At the same point E with the quantity 15,000, total social benefit greater than total social costs, and this is condition number 2. Suppose Q1 equal 10,000. Q1 equal 10,000. The price greater than 1.5, okay? And this is bad news for consumer and good news for producer. Suppose quantity equal 20,000. 20,000 in this case, the price equal 1 pound or 1 Egyptian pound. So good news for consumer and bad news for producer. The next, markets, prices, and efficiency. We will present the perfect competitive market or perfect competition. What about the conditions? Number one, productive resources privately owned or the private sector own the resources. Resources mobile between sectors. Information available for all, free information. Products standards and homogeneous. No economic power, so in this case no one can control in price. Okay, what about the buyers? Buyers or consumers target to maximize satisfaction. Maximize satisfaction. So in this case we'll talk about marginal private benefit, MPB. Marginal private benefit. How to maximize satisfaction or maximize marginal private benefit. So the maximization rule or the maximization condition for the buyers when price equal marginal private benefit equal marginal social benefit. For sellers or producers or suppliers, supplier target to maximize profits. So in this case we will talk about marginal private costs, MPC. So the maximization condition when price, this is for seller, price equal marginal private cost equal marginal social cost. From equation 1 and 2, so this is the maximization or the equilibrium when price equal marginal private benefit equal marginal private cost equal marginal social benefit equal marginal social cost. This is the maximization for consumer and producer. Market failure and the market interaction. Okay, market failure equal that the private sector cannot provide or require goods and services, so we need the government to intervene in the market to provide specific goods. What about the reasons for market failure? Number one, the case of monopolistic power. The case of monopolistic power. Point A, this is MR, marginal revenue, and this is marginal social benefit, and this is marginal social cost. At point A, the marginal revenue equal marginal social cost but not equal marginal social benefit. Okay, so when we link point A with point B, the marginal social benefit equal price and greater than marginal social cost. So in this case we talk about monopolistic profit and this is loss in net benefit. The second case, taxes. Taxes, when the government collect taxes from business to finance the public projects. Suppose this is supply curve and demand curve. Point E equal equilibrium without tax, without subsidies in free market. The quantity, equilibrium quantity equal 4, equilibrium price equal 5. As a response to subsidy, the supply curve shift to left from S1 to S2. Why? Because the supply or the production costs increased, so the producer limit the production from 4 to 3. At the same time, the price increased from 5 to 6, so this is the amount or the value of tax. The second case, subsidies. Subsidies, the opposite of tax. So the subsidies the government provide financial assistance to the producer. So the same point E, original point with equilibrium price 4 and equilibrium quantity Q star. As a response for subsidies, supply curve shift to right from S1, original supply, to S2. at point C. So at point C, the equilibrium quantity increased after subsidies and the price decreased from 4 to 3. What about the market failure preview? In this case, the government intervention may be warranted if there is number one, exercise of monopoly power, in this case problem for the government, so the single firm can control in price. Number two, in case of third parties other than buyer and seller, third parties we will explain in details in the next chapter with externalities. The difference between marginal social benefit may be exceed than marginal social cost in case of monopoly, and incomplete of information. So government is required to intervene in markets since we have incomplete information, and incomplete information create risk. Economic stabilization, in this case the government intervene the market to fix some problems like unemployment or inflation. Problem about the relationship or how we can estimate the optimal or the efficient output. The governs units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 available units, total social benefit, total social cost, marginal social benefit, marginal social cost, and total social benefit minus total social cost. To calculate or to estimate the efficient output, condition number one, marginal social benefit equal marginal social cost. At the same time, total social benefit greater than total social cost. So we need to calculate the missing parts. To calculate MSP at unit 1, MSP equal change in TSP divided change in units. So 10,000 minus 0 equal 10,000. 1 minus 0 equal 1. So 10 over 1 equal 10. MSC the same, 5,000 as a total social cost minus 0 divided 1 minus 0 equal 5,000. TSP minus TSC, 10,000 minus 5 equal 5. So the first row done. When two units, marginal social benefit equal 16,000 minus 10 over 2 minus 1. So this is equal 6,000. Marginal social cost equal 11 minus 5,000 over 2 minus 1 equals 6,000, and the total social benefit 16,000 minus 11,000 equal 5. The same for units 3, 4, 5. The first condition to estimate the efficient output, marginal social benefit equal marginal social cost, so the efficient output at units 2. When this economy produce units 2 units, condition number 1, marginal social benefit equal marginal social cost equal 6,000. At the same time, total social benefit greater than total social cost. Thank you, my dear students.